Morning. Extra coffee on a Wednesday. Things are good, feeling really solid. Body weight creeping down a little bit, 241 this morning, pumped on that. Gonna keep at it. So one of the things, cue the intro. One of the things I do with a ketogenic diet, not only am I fasting and doing some stuff like that until about noon, 1 o'clock, it varies depending on how hungry I am. I try to eat voluminous food, so big salads, things like this that are really no calories, but fill me up. That's kind of a key, since you still got to be in a caloric deficit to lose any weight, right? And then there's going to be days where I'm just not hungry. And on those days, I really try to take advantage. I don't force my macros. I'll just eat till I'm full, but keep the same ratio of macros, if that makes any sense. Where I still want my diet to be 70% fat because I'm doing a ketogenic diet, but I may not hit all of my calories for the day. And I notice this helps because other days I'm going to be fucking hungry. And those days I'm probably going to overshoot a little bit. So today's a rest day. Good training yesterday. Really stoked on that. Stoked on the weekend. And a video edited. And then at 9:30 I have a podcast with a strength student podcast. Now these dudes were out at Super Training last time I was there. Really, really good dudes. We're trying to work for Mark. I don't know how that's gone. Good dudes, and happy to do their podcast with them. So I'll be talking to them at 9:30. All right. Meantime, more coffee, a little bit of work. Getting ready to podcast. I always like doing podcasts. However, I don't particularly like talking about training. So, I always try to go off on some tangents, something else, right? Got some more errands to run. Big box I got in. This is a box full of pre-orders of the Red Stick CrossFit shirts we did to support the regionals team. So I'm gonna run those up to the gym, go see Andrew, drop those off, and then this weekend I have the actual team stuff to hand out to them. I gotta get some lunch. Maybe poke, right? All right, let's go run a couple errands. Nick and Allie get in tonight like at 9:30, which is past my bedtime. It's strange on the days that you realize you're an adult and you do boring adult things that you wouldn't have done 10 years ago, right? One of those for me is like, oh, we're having company. So we did yard work, cleaned the guest bedroom, cleaned the house. I cleaned in the gym. Like, everything's got to be acceptable. Like, get your fucking life together because people are coming over. It's not just a regular day. It's just stupid shit you do because you're an adult and, like, you don't want to be a fucking scumbag. So good. These are hot. I can run it. While at lunch with Josh, he and I were talking about concealed carry. Find out that he's had his for quite some time since an incident occurred. He tells me, he's like, well, you know I was involved in that shooting, right? I'm like, I have no fucking idea what you're telling me. And he tells me this fucking crazy story. I'll definitely get him to tell it at a later date, but like it's shit like this is why I'd rather have and not need than be in this situation, right? Where he didn't. He and his chick were coming home from work, both bartenders, and we're a couple miles from where I currently live. This isn't a sketchy place, but it's 3 a.m. They're at a red light, and all of a sudden they realize the guy on the side of them has gotten out of his car and is shooting into their car. Shoots through the back glass and explodes Josh's headrest because it's like a two-door car, so there's not a lot of room. Shoots a back tire out and then shoots through the passenger window next to Josh through the front windscreen. They haul ass, little loose control with not having the tire. The dude follows them. They get out of the car and run instead of trying to wreck while driving on a flat. Dude turns around, follows them to a field where they've just made a run for it, right? And Josh is calling the police the whole time. I mean, where we're talking about this happened is just a couple miles from here, and there's a sheriff's substation like just across the street, right? So this guy's just chased him down to the field, can't find him, but he's just shooting randomly into the field. What the fuck, man? My point is, I'm not fear-mongering, right? But you can't pretend bad shit doesn't happen. Be prepared. One of the things Nick said, and that I thought was a good reference, other than my, one of the things Nick said, it was like, we've all spent our entire lives preparing for fires, right? For this fire drill. We know exactly what to do if there's a fire, how to get out, how to handle it. That's something you're never going to most likely deal with either. So is it crazy that we know how to deal with a fire? I like the idea of being prepared. I like options. I'd rather be safe than sorry. That's really it. And so since that is the route I'm going, and that's no longer up for why I'm doing this, right? I'm going to educate myself. And so you guys should see quite a bit of that and me learning. I mean, two other things that have popped up, people have reached out kind of locally. There's another guy who does med kits, and there's a guy who does a tactical class for self-defense at the range Nick and I are going to. And so I'm probably going to go take his class as well with my wife. And that way, that's something else. That's that's more time on the range. It's more bullets. That's more time to get used to it and learn from another person, not just one source. I mean, if you're going to take it pretty serious, take it serious and educate yourself so you know how to handle yourself if a situation arises. You're just trying to give yourself more knowledge, right? And that's really the powerful side of it, so that you're not panicked and you're not the victim. Just got home and came into another giant box of stuff. So good. These will be up soon, like next week. Good shit. I just got some coffee from Rogue. Our Kick the Day in the Dick blend. So pumped on these. We do the bottles. These are a little different. These are like a matte finish. So the new bottles are like a matte finish. I like them better. All right, that's cleared, right? So 3 o'clock, time to edit, get that done for the day, and then try to fit some training in. I don't have to pick up Nick and Allie till like 9:30, which is fucking way past my bedtime. So it is 9:45. We're waiting to pick up Nick and Allie, and Leo is way past. Think about that.
What do you think about this dachshund climbing fence?
What?